what's going on.
See what's going on. Good.
Yeah. Okay. So that is
That's
what
pretty
I'm
good. Yep.
getting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's this, like, you can see the kind of dots on the outside.
Right. So you're getting a decent atomization in the center, and then you're
Yeah.
getting the pour around the outside.
Yeah.
So
But
what that
up here, as soon this obviously is like, 1% paint, 99% air. Up here is like a
Mhm.
50-50. Up here is full force. So the speckled effect gets less the more paint that I put through. So the more
Hmm.
air's going through, the worse it is. Really bizarre.
Um, hold on just a second, Pixie.
No probs. While Bug King is doing that, I might as well show you guys. Because some stream money has not yet came in, but is not far away from coming in. We're almost there.
Okay,
I
so
got
I am
all right. Okay, Bug
actually
King's back.
back. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
I want you to try something. I want you to try turning on your compressor.
Turning what? Sorry, you broke up.
Per- I'm sorry about that. Turning the pressure up on your compressor.
Okay, it's currently running. If I can even see
About 20
right.
psi.
Lower than that. I always run it around about the kind of 16 mark.
16 psi. Wow.
16,
Okay.
yeah.
Try turning it to 20.
Okay. Um, yeah, same thing. But now they're just further apart, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
dot there.
Yeah. Okay.
So the field of it just
So
gets wider, really.
okay. So just wanted to make sure to eliminate that as
Yep.
a possibility, that it wasn't enough pressure. Um, and run alcohol through it. McWeasel says, yeah, when cleaning, I crank the compressor up to
Yep.
50 and run alcohol through it. Yeah. All right. So go ahead and take the black paint out of the brush.
Okay.
Do your normal cleaning process, and then the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the air portion off the front of the airbrush. So not the actual nozzle, but the piece that goes around it.
Yep. Okay. I see. Trying to fix this, I've ran through so much cleaner. I had to order new cleaner.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and you wow, you asked me earlier what I paint terrain with. I actually
Mm.
use Liquitex paint
Ah.
in tubes.
Right. Okay.
So I use tube paint, and I'll put because almost all the terrain painting that I do is with a siphon feed
Yep.
instead of a gravity feed for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Um, and I take very close to boiling water,
Mhm.
pour it into the cup at about, I don't know, I usually fill it about 75% with water,
Yep.
and then I will take the tube paint and just squeeze it in there and then shake the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, it's really unscientific, but because terrain gives you such
Yeah.
leeway, especially when you're just blocking in colors and stuff. You know, if the mix is a little wrong, I'll add a little more water, or if it's too thin, I'll add a little
Mhm.
paint. But yeah, that's it. You know,
Hmm.
it's really just hot water, and of course the hot water assists in breaking up the acrylic binder.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm looking to get. I'm going to be making a table for the house, but it needs to
Hmm.
be able to be completely put away in storage. We've basically got a big walk-in cupboard off of the living room that's used to kind of store all my photography stuff, the general bits and bobs for the house. Um, but the guys are kind of wanting me to have a gaming table here because we've all
Hmm.
got armies and we're not getting the chance to play. So,
Right. Right.
what I need to do, my dining table from IKEA is like it extends out to something crazy like 3 meters, but the depth of it is like 12 inches too narrow for a
Hmm.
proper, like, effective gaming table. So we're looking
Right.
at getting MDF sheets and basically making
Hmm.
some kind of contraption that can slot on top of the um the table, and then make
So
terrain.
what size does your
Jimmy, why are
MDF
you
sheets?
hosting me? It's not a real stream. No, I'm getting hosts and everything. No, guys. Thank you, Jimmy, but dude, it's not even a real stream. If anyone came down with Jimmy, you're going to have to excuse the stream this evening. It's not a real one. I'm literally using the stream as a video link with TheBugKing to sort my airbrush because I've been having some airbrush dribbles. So, yeah, we are not doing a proper stream at all. Hey, Desire Death.
Ugly. Ugly coming in with the airbrush, the crazy looking cat.
I know. We are here to learn how to fix our airbrush woes. Well, guys, what I did say to TheBugKing is that I've set my OBS to completely download all of my streams to my hard drive. So what I will do is clip this, and then it will go on YouTube with credit to TheBugKing and all that kind of fun shenanigans. So that something's there for people that are having this trouble, because I know of 4 different people just now who've got the same issue as me. But I'm sitting here in my pajamas, so ain't no face cam going on. Okay, so black paint is
they're not
gone.
Piglet pajamas this time, right?
No, they're not Piglet pajamas.
So take the very front portion of the airbrush off, not the crown, not the little itty bitty bit at the end, the very
Just
end,
the
but
whole
the next
cap.
section up. Yeah.
Me and my lip balm. Okay. Done.
All right. So now it looks as though you've got a little bit of a mess around your nozzle there as well. Is that just some paint left over?
Possibly.
Because any type of sort of obstruction around the nozzle at that point, so making sure that the surface of the nozzle is very smooth leading up to the needle, as well as the surface of the inside of I think it's called a cup or something. I don't remember what the term is exactly for the piece that you just took off. That's what you want to check right now to make sure that everything there is pretty clean. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Desire Death that she's not going to touch Simple Green anymore ever.
Nope.
But just normal soap and water work, or even just using the airbrush cleaner with the toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a little more nice. Yeah, it looks as though the surface of your nozzle is actually or not the nozzle, but the protrusion that comes out there, that looks really rough, and that may be keeping or generating a lot of turbulence with your air.
I don't know.
Yeah, that right there. Damn, that's what the Simple Green did. It took the surface of that off, or is that the lip balm?
It's discolored as shit. Well, do you want me to clean the lip balm off, because I've got this lube stuff now anyway to put on it? What is the best way of removing it without screwing my airbrush?
Just like a paper towel, and just be gentle. I mean, honestly, what you could do at this point, if you're concerned, is remove the needle, or at least back it up.
Yep.
So yeah, Desire Death, what we discovered, because I've actually used Simple Green with Iwata airbrushes as well, but in this case, it actually removed some of the chrome plating.
See it best. Yeah. It actually, I'll show you this before I do the needle. Now that I've got it set properly, that is not paint. That is the plating that is now totally screwed by Simple Green.
Yeah.
So it's actually pulled the chrome plating off, and the inside of the brush is discolored as well.
Turn it around. Turn that piece around for me, real quick, Pixie.
Yep.
All right. So that looks good. That looks really good. So that's not where your issue lies, although the hole in the end of that cone there is not. So do you have like something that you can run through there to clean that out as well? because that should be
Um,
pretty much perfectly round.
I've got yeah, there is like a kind of black ring around it that's
Mm-hmm.
quite bizarre. I've got a little tiny set of pipe cleaners, but I don't think the smallest one is small enough to get through there. I'll try though.
So okay, because one of the things you can get extremely small like medical supply brushes,
Mhm.
or even like the like toothpick brushes. They make like little things to go in between your teeth that
Oh
are
wait,
actually
I've got them
brushes, not
somewhere.
flossing. Oh, you do? Okay, so use that because that's nice and soft. Use that to clean that out.
Okay, I need to try remembering where I've put them now. Because I
Okay.
had them and someone asked me when they were round if they could use them for their airbrush, and I was like, "Yeah, okay," and then I don't know where I've put them.
But yeah, so you just use that to gently and be careful of the nozzle
Yep,
because you can actually damage the surface area of the nozzle as well. So
yep.
you just want to gently remove that. This way you won't bend your needle either.
Yeah, I've removed it. I've basically pulled the needle all the way back in.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I've heard, nozzles are kind of less expensive than needles if you buy them separately, although that doesn't make sense to me. You would buy them together.
Um, for the lower end Iwata models, you can buy them separately.
Oh, really? Hey,
Yeah.
Wiki.
So
Uh, Sorry, guys, I am
um,
totally not paying attention to chat right now.
so do me a favor and take the paper towel and sort of bend it around the entire because you're working on cleaning the nozzle, but what I'm concerned about is actually closer. It's on the body. Yeah. So further back and try to get all of that off.
Okay. Ew.
Yeah. All of
So
that
dumb.
there is going to cause a massive amount of turbulence. Um,
You see,
and that
I had to put all of that on. That was when Captain was saying about putting lube on. He said just to put it anywhere that there was grease when I first got it. I'm like, right, okay, fine. So when
mm,
I first opened it up, there was tons on there. And that's what basically made the airbrush work again to the point that I got it to. So it's going to be
mhm.
interesting to see how this works now.
Well, now you have the airbrush lube.
Yep.
So, and uh, the reason why, yeah, you want to get all of that out of there. That's probably the issue right there.
Really? But it wasn't
Yeah.
working at all until I done that.
Well, so the so the way this works, the way the airbrush works, you have a very small hole on the bottom, which is actually
Mhm.
plugged up at the because it's got a little bit of lip balm in it.
Oh, you
Um,
mean that end there where my
the
nail
the
is?
little the little hole, yeah, that's full of lip balm. Yep. Yeah. So what that's actually where the air comes into the nozzle area,
Mhm.
right? And it pressurizes the entire uh, unit that's over the nozzle.
Right, okay.
And so, no, don't do that. Just let the air push it out. In fact, hook it up to some air, point it away from your
Mhm.
face. I don't know. Oh, she's right here. Evelyn, come on. No.
What's the little one up to?
Bedtime and hiding.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, but do me a favor and keep that away from your face so you don't hit your eyes with like lip balm or anything. But yeah, just go ahead and blow that mess out.
Mhm. Nothing's coming out.
No air?
No, air's coming out, but no lip balm or anything. Well, I
Yeah,
tried
no, but that should
turning.
be it. No, 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 no.
Okay.
And now take a look at the hole. Take a look at the hole now. It
Yep.
should look like it's clean. Okay.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want is you don't want that lip balm to then get around the surface of the nozzle, right?
Right. Okay.
Because again, that's going to modify how the air exits the end of the
Ah.
airbrush. Okay. So now that you've removed all of that lip balm, I think what Captain was saying, instead of putting the lip balm there, is just put it up on the threads to function as an additional seal.
Right. Okay.
Um, because
I'm
You
just
know, if
making
it
sure I've got
wasn't
all of this gunk out from roundabout.
mhm,
I'm gonna. I'll have a look for those dental things, but if I can't find them, then I'll just buy new ones.
right. Yeah, like in your airbrushes is okay, not your airbrush.
Who said that?
Nick Weasel.
I was going to say that sounds like a McWeasel thing to say. Um, I'll just take all this crap off the threads as well. Mm-mm-mm.
Because the basic concept behind how an airbrush functions is you want the air to flow without turbulence around the end of the nozzle out past the tip of the needle to
Mhm.
properly atomize the paint coming off of the needle.
Okay.
If you don't have even airflow or if you have a lot of turbulence coming in at that point, it's going to cause spatter. Which of course is a desirable trait for some things, like if you're
Yeah.
trying to do star fields and stuff like that. But you know, huh. Yeah, see, that's much better now.
Okay.
So it does look as though you are missing a gasket on between the cover of the nozzle and the body. So where the
That
threads are,
there was
there's
never one.
there was never a gasket there.
No.
Okay,
I
well,
checked with Captain that
mhm,
that there wasn't one there because I was like, am I
okay,
missing a seal or something? But
all
he
right.
said there wasn't one.
Okay, so now I think what we need to do is just need to go ahead, close it up, put the piece back on, put a little bit of paint in it, and see how it behaves, without any lip balm or anything.
Okay.
Um,
See, to me, this is how it came out a simple green, and it was buggered because all of the lubricant has been stripped. Um,
okay, so
I don't know.
what's going on here though is you did not actually remove lubricant. You removed what you could see, but the lip balm, the wax itself, is
Mhm.
going to still leave a residue there.
Oh, okay. So I'm just checking PSI.
Hmm.
Okay. Paint, 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 paint.
And just a little bit, so you don't
Yeah.
have to pour it back out and clean it.
See these Vallejo bottles? I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting that, and it's really annoying me.
What?
It'll show up in a second on stream.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no, I get that with the Vallejo ball all the time too.
Yep.
And what that comes from is if you don't clean the sort of nipple off. I keep a paper towel around.
So I shouldn't giggle
Um,
at that word. Am I a fucking
right, right.
4-year-old? Okay.
I paused before I said it. I don't know if you heard, but I actually paused before I said it.
Yeah.
Um, and but yeah, if you take a paper towel and you just clean the top off, it'll
See
prevent that
if
from
this has
happening.
fixed it. I'm going to feel like such an idiot. No, it's still doing it. But
It is okay.
paint is coming through still. So obviously the residual that is lit. Why is my exposure gone again? Oh, I had to
Because you have
restart
it
OBS.
right. So
So
it's still spattering. Okay. So
yeah.
now I think very likely what the cause of the spatter is the leftover material that's in the end of the nozzle. Take the crown off. So the very end of it.
Okay. Will I dump the paint or keep the paint in?
Keep the paint in, but take the crown off.
Okay. Okay, I need a glove.
Yeah, that's probably you probably never taken it off, right?
I think it's came off once when I was checking for blockages and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
T, it's BugKing.
I promise I will get the Discord overlay. I promise. Okay, it is off.
Okay,
I need to
so
turn it on again. I really wish autofocus would work on this damn thing,
right.
but it just doesn't. Okay.
Now let's see if you can get autofocus to get, because I do want to see the very end there. You may actually, at this point, with the crown off,
Mm.
be able to take the nozzle cover off and just scrub that with a toothbrush
Okay.
and get that residue off. So go ahead and try doing that. Because I think if you get that residue off, the pore atomization around the outsides is going to stop.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This makes
You know,
absolutely no sense to me, but I believe in you. I know
well,
you know what you're doing.
the because the part of the airbrush that deals with atomization and paint patterns is literally the interaction, just the interaction between the opening in the nozzle
Mhm.
cover, the nozzle itself, and the
Mhm.
needle.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you're having problems with spray patterns, it's all right there.
Right. Okay.
If you're having problems with paint flow, it's further back in the brush. If you're having
Right.
problems with airflow, it's further back in the brush. But at this point, this issue should be right here.
Okay. But remember, this is me though. If there's a way to
I
find a
know,
new way
I
to
know,
break
I know,
something.
and yeah.
Okay, so that is focus. That's much cleaner.
Does it look when you turn it around and get the white exposure behind it? Do you get a nice round hole now, or is there still some particular?
So I'm taking it off camera to have a look because it's just easier.
That's fine.
Looks nice and round, but I've not. Hold on, I check and see if this one will go through. Nah, the pipe cleaner thing I've got is too thick
Mhm.
to go
It's
through.
too big. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
need to get those little dental flossy things. I'm sure I had them in amongst my hobby stuff, but apparently not unless they're out in the hall.
Okay.
If needs
So
be, I can go
that's
check them
definitely
out.
something to keep on hand. Um, you
Oh,
know,
that needs cleaned.
because you want to, hopefully during the normal operation of things, unless you leave the brush and you allow paint to dry in the nozzle, you should never have to take the nozzle off.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the crown, what you're holding there, really the only thing that does is that protects the needle from, like, if you put it down or something, you're not
Mhm.
going to ding the needle or ding the nozzle.
Yep.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm just cleaning
so,
out the front part of the cap because it's actually gunked with crap,
mhm.
which won't help. Sorry, guy. If
I
anyone's
believe
chatting,
so.
I've been
Yeah.
totally ignoring it.
Um, just threaded through and floss. Desire Death says just use dental floss, which is actually not a bad suggestion.
Ooh.
And to answer Dirty Wookie's question, small particulate in the crown can cause spatter. Yes. Well, not in the crown, but in the opening in the nozzle cover. So really, I should be looking at like a schematic of this so I can use proper names. Let's see if I can pull one up really quick while you're doing that.
No props. Do you know what? I'm going to set the headset down and I'm going to have a very quick 1 minute look for those dental things that I know I've got in this house in a box. So just give me 1 minute, guys. I'm sure BugKing can entertain you all since she's decided to be mental and tune in. I will be back in a moment.
All right, here we go. So, do Neo fluid nozzles, blah blah blah. Gravity feed. That's not what I'm after. All right, what do we got? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Okay, here we go. I want number 2. Two. Nozzle cap. Okay. So that's what that actually is. Nozzle cap. Sink folk songs or sailor shanties. Yeah, not happening. but I am going to go ahead and link this in the chat. Kumbaya, nice. Yeah, we should do the Deadly Black Tarantula song. That would be amusing. Valve body O-ring, needle packing O-ring. Yeah, nozzle cap for 5 millimeter, nozzle cap for 35 millimeters. So that's the one that she wants. Little spring, packing screw, yep. Chucking nut, chucking guide. The handle O-ring. Valve body O-ring. Okay. Get a campfire going, yeah. Fun times, right? Part number 3. She says that she has cleaned the knob, and dental floss would probably work with that as well. You just have to be extremely careful. They make them out of brass, so it's really easy to bung those pieces. The one thing that I'm going to have her check after she comes back also is to make sure that the nozzle, a full teardown and clean it. I agree, Death. So I was going to have her. Hi, Torches. How you doing? And Warlander TV, man, everybody's stopping in here, and you all get to listen to me gabble as she goes out and tries to find these dental picks. She did take the nozzle off originally, and I guess with the Neo, it's extremely easy to adjust that incorrectly. And if you do, the airbrush simply doesn't work. So, and it doesn't actually have air rings or anything, O-rings or anything.
Out of 10. Okay. I could not find the dental things, but I may have something. I just need to check this box. Believe it or not, I'm currently looking in a box of jewellery making supplies. You never know.
And Desired Death says go ahead and get some thread tape, so that you would get that at like a hardware store. Teflon tape.
Okay.
It's the stuff that you would put on the threads of a brass coupler.
Okay.
For plumbing. So if you asked for like plumber's tape or thread tape at a hardware store, and what you would do with that is you would wrap that around the threads for the nozzle or the the nozzle cap.
Yeah.
By the way, I actually linked in chat a third-party website. It's airbrush-info.net, and it has a listing of all of the parts that are available for the Neo.
Oh, awesome.
So I'll go ahead and relink that for you quick.
Awesome. Okay, so I've been trying to find something that is thin enough to go through that can possibly clean this. Unfortunately, the only thing I've got isn't an abrasive material, it's smooth. So that's useless.
Oh, no. Smooth, yes. Yeah, you want something that's smooth. You don't want it to be abrasive.
I don't know, right, okay, this might seem ridiculous, okay, but it's basically a stretchy elastic type stuff that you use for jewellery making. And it's completely soft, pliable, and it's 100% smooth.
Good.
Will that work?
Yeah, that's it exactly. That's actually monofilament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's elastic
opposed
to static monofilament.
Okay.
But yes, that will work really well, and that's not going to damage it. So Desire Death also mentioned that you may be having an issue with some particulate or leftover paint in the nozzle itself.
That was
But
checked completely, and there is
yes,
nothing in that nozzle.
there's nothing in that nozzle.
Um,
So once you sort of work that around, um, the that the edge of that ring, I'm going to want you to put that back on there because what you should see is the end of the nozzle should protrude just slightly past the end of the nozzle cup or the nozzle cap.
okay, that is now a perfect circle.
Good. Okay, so that right there
You
is
can
going to
see it
make
there on
a
cam.
big difference.
You should be able to see that
There,
perfectly.
yeah, that's much better. Um, and a very fine layer. Yeah, desired depth. There probably is still some. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. So the next step, Pixie, is to go ahead and put leave the crown off. The crown off. Just put the nozzle cap on without the crown.
Okay.
Then back the needle out away so that it's inside the brush. Pull the needle all the way back so that it's all the
Yep.
way inside the brush. You
So
do need to do maintenance on a brush, torches. You need to. Okay, so good. So the nozzle is actually protruding out
yep.
past the end of the airbrush. That's really
The
important.
see when I was messing around trying to get it basically to create enough of a vacuum to get paint coming through. The nozzle isn't Captain said the nozzle should basically screw on until it can't screw anymore, but without over tightening. This nozzle
Hmm.
doesn't do that. It's actually a few turns off of sitting like that,
Hmm.
because if it's not, it doesn't protrude through at all.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
if it doesn't protrude through, it will not work.
Yeah. So,
What you'll get is just a whole bunch of backflow. So yeah, that's good. Now look at the end of the airbrush. You should see a very even hole around, or an even line around the nozzle and the nozzle cap. There should be a pretty even gap all the way around that. If it looks
mm,
like there's some sort of distortion, that's
mm,
also going to cause some problems.
from what I can see, it looks completely even.
Okay,
There's
so
no kind of
now
larger gap. Oh, I just covered
good.
myself in
Go ahead and try spraying now and see what we got.
I'll put the end piece back on, yeah.
Yeah, if you want. I mean,
Actually, when I
again, what
put
that's
the airbrush the needle back through, there was just this tiny bit of goop that came out.
that's probably okay.
Actually,
I mean,
yeah,
you
because
haven't.
there's paint in it, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there should
But
have been some.
oh, I've never been so paranoid about screwing something onto the end of an appliance. I'm just like, don't break it. Okay, let's try this. Still doing it.
Still doing it.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Still the exact same.
Exact same. Okay. So now it's very likely an issue with, unfortunately, um,
With what? Sorry, you broke up.
the nozzle.
Uh,
So you said that you haven't turned the nozzle all the way in.
no, because it wouldn't. It
Okay.
wasn't letting paint through. Air was coming through, but no paint would
Sure.
come through.
So the next step now is to start turning the nozzle in. Um, so crank it down tighter, back the needle off, crank it down tighter, but at like an eighth of a turn a try. So just a
Okay.
little bit, try it, just a little bit, try it, just a little bit,
Um,
and you just have to
I'm
continue going
cleaning
in
out,
very small increments.
and I don't know if it's because
Yes,
there's no loop. I'm now getting all of this crap coming out.
really.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's no lubrication. That's exactly
Okay.
the issue. Yep. So the Teflon tape that we were talking about will
Yep.
prevent that from occurring completely. Or you can go ahead and put the lip balm back on it as a sealer. That
Is that
will work,
not
but you
what that
just put
stuff's
it on
supposed
the
to do?
tips.
Or is that for a completely different purpose? The super
What?
lube stuff.
The super lube stuff is actually for the the plunger. So like if you were to take the needle out, you can pull
Oh.
the
Yep.
trigger out. That goes in there. It also goes into the needle packing bearing. So you put that on the needle and
Mhm.
slide it in.
Right. Okay.
Um, and what that does is that will prevent you from having massive air problems.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, as Desire Death says, that trigger. So no, it shouldn't be necessary for the yeah, it's the main lever. Iwata Neo main lever, part number
Is Jan
um
here as well? Jan, dude, what are you doing?
yeah, Genuine is here. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I know. It's so funny. That's so funny.
I warned you the last time I done a tech help thing, I got like 30 odd viewers. It was mental. Okay, so
Okay.
try the nozzle thing
So
now.
so you're gonna take the back
Yep.
the needle out and open that up. And now I want you to take the tool, the special tool got, and tighten the nozzle
Yep.
down by like an eighth of a turn,
Mhm.
just a little bit. Then you get to put it all back together again and try your paint
Try
pattern.
it. Well, basically, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
done to get paint through it, but in reverse. It had to be loosened for me to let paint through. Oddly,
Did you how much of an increment did you go by?
like literally an eighth.
An eighth. All right, then let's try backing it out a little bit more.
Tighten it or loosen it.
Loosen it up by another eighth of a turn.
Boop. Wait, I'm now trying to remember if I'm tightening or loosening. Oh, Jesus.
It should be normal threads. I think you're tightening there,
Yeah.
but okay.
Okay, so it was there. Because I remember the position that the nozzle was kind of at 2 o'clock ish
Mm-hmm.
when I got it, so.
So
That's for the trigger.
that's a full quarter turn, but yeah. So all right. So now let's go ahead and try this.
Ow! The needle. Ow. Okay, yeah, the needle
Stab
is.
yourself with the needle.
Yeah, which I didn't do when I first got it. So
It
the
came out
needle
too
is
far.
sitting further forwards than what it used to.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to need to put paint back in this. There must be a secret to taking apart an airbrush with paint in it without spilling it everywhere.
Yeah, it's called clean it out.
just clean it out even more.
Mm-hmm. It also depends, Desire Death, on that you have. So like the Eclipse models, the nozzle is actually not screwed.
Oh! Oh! Are you serious? Okay,
That
it's
was
doing it the tiniest bit, but nothing in comparison to how it was.
mm-hmm. Okay, so let's back it out just a touch more.
Although it's now got this bizarre. See if I hold it completely straight onto the towel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pattern, the spray pattern is going further out to the left, kind of down to 7 o'clock than anywhere else.
Okay, so unfortunately, what that means is that the nozzle is now not oriented straight in relation to the rest of the airbrush.
Brilliant.
So we can try taking another little turn on it. I mean, the Teflon tape. Oh, man, I don't think the you can't really add Teflon tape to that because that fitting should be that's the most or the closest machined part on the
Mm-hmm.
entire airbrush is the nozzle threads to the body of the
Yep.
airbrush. But so you're still having just a little bit of particulate. Try backing the nozzle out just a little bit more. Now, as you turn that, I think you'll find that the spray pattern is actually going to change where it actually goes. Okay. So you may wind up finding a sweet spot where you don't get large particulate and it's spraying straight out of the brush.
Right, okay.
And that's basically what you're looking for. And the only way to go ahead and get that is through trial and error at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'm just cleaning this out.
And I haven't said hi to Genuine yet. So how you doing, you crazy South Korean?
How's your back doing?
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
Heidi
so
Creative.
I
So
heard
for
that.
all of you crazy people that have joined here, this isn't a legit stream. This is troubleshooting an airbrush that I am ready to throw out. Even though I love my airbrush.
So yeah, let's back it out just a little bit more, maybe a
Yep.
little more than that. That's probably good. And try it out.
What I'm concerned about is the fact that now the needle is protruding past this outer cup, which obviously it never used to do.
So what you'll have to do now, Pixie, is when you are done, back the needle into the brush. Undo the end of it and back the needle into the brush so that it's protected when you store it.
Thing is, well, that's annoying me because I kind of, when I got it, it didn't have to sit like that, which is irritating the hell out of me. Right, so
There's not much that can be done about that now, unfortunately. So now you do need to repack the needle. So you need to, since you adjusted the nozzle, you need to go ahead and make sure that the needle is seated correctly in the nozzle. So it's probably going to want to come forward just a touch.
Yep.
And then try your spray pattern again.
This has been annoying me so much that if I had the money, I would just straight up buy a new one to save going through this. And then I would just never rip it apart unless there was an issue with it. I think this is all came from the fact that as soon as I realised it had been soaking in Simple Green so long, I panicked and ripped the whole thing apart.
Right.
So as soon as I took that nozzle off, that was it, kind of. Okay, now air's coming through, but no paint. So this is the issue I was having.
Okay, so it's gone too far now. So we need to go ahead and tighten it up some more. Yeah. So now it needs to be tightened up just a bit.
Could it be that it does just need to be tightened more than where I had it when we started this?
It could possibly be the issue, yes.
Okay,
you could tighten it all the way down and we could work it way up to where it was, but you said that it didn't work when you first did it. And now I find that kind of surprising, but that's, because typically what you want to do is you want to tighten that up until it's snug.
Yeah, which is the way it was when I bought
initially.
it. Do you think I'm best just doing that just now because there's that much being played around with that I was blaming the nozzle being the initial problem? But maybe whatever else was wrong has kind of sorted because the valve was sticking, remember, and it isn't anymore. So I think maybe it would be best to tighten it down to its snug and work from there. McWeasel!
Oh no. So yeah, go ahead and, obviously back the needle all the way out and then tighten that up. Because one of the things that this is where you can, and Scaradum coming in for a follow.
Oh, wow. Seriously?
Yeah, that's what that was. I think that's why he beeped us.
Scaradum, thank you for the follow, my friend. I'm going to keep repeating it. This is not a legit stream, which is why there's no face cam or anything. We are literally troubleshooting an airbrush. It's going to be clipped together for social media because this is a handy thing for people to see. If I keep it on camera, that would probably help, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
would definitely help.
that's now a little bit of tension. Now, I
Perfect.
remember when I bought it, the nozzle was sitting at this particular angle, so I know that when it's tight, that's where it's to go.
Okay. So
And that
let's go
seal
ahead.
now kind of looks more taut, as if it's actually doing something instead of just sitting there.
Doing something. All right. Go ahead and take the crown off of
Yep.
the nozzle cup or the nozzle cap.
It is.
Take the crown off of the nozzle cap.
Yep. It's not sticking out as much, but I think it's sitting just flush, which is how it was before.
Okay. That's
Let me
probably
check.
good as well.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So, needle back in. Cap back on. There's no point in me putting the back end on constantly if I'm just going to be.
No, I typically keep mine off also when I'm working.
Okay, right. So now we're back to the original problem. That's just there. As soon as I pull back for paint, that's happening. Backflow.
Okay, so you're getting backflow. Yep.
Yep.
So the issue here is that the nozzle is too far back in the body.
Okay.
So we need to definitely have the nozzle be further, or well, but Desired Death, if she retreats the needle at all, she's not going. As soon as she applies air, she's going to get paint. So you can't start with just applying air and then gradually add paint, which is, basically like a single action airbrush. That's how single action airbrush works.
Yep.
So go ahead then, Pixie. Let's go ahead and bring the nozzle forward about 3/4 of a turn.
3/4 of a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait. Right, okay. So that would take it to there.
Does the O-ring still look like it's doing something?
Yes. I like the fact
Okay.
you know what I mean by that. Okay. So yeah, now the nozzle is actually sticking through a tiny amount.
Good. Try it again.
Seat the needle properly. Oh, BugKing, you sexy motherfucker.
Is that it?
Oh, you sexy beast. If you weren't married, I swear to God. Oh my God. People, the BugKing. Oh my God. The BugKing is just the most amazing, beautiful, wonderful human being. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so it was down to all that gunk round about it and also the needle position.
Actually, to be entirely honest, it was probably 100% the nozzle being in the wrong spot.
So I fucked my own airbrush because I removed the nozzle initially. Okay. That's all we needed to know. Okay, what I've learned from this entire experience is that simple green is okay to a point if you don't mind the chrome plating going. And that, is for some reason, there we go. And never, ever, ever remove the nozzle unless you know that motherfucker is blocked. Never panic like I did. Oh, I can airbrush now. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm just going to sit here and airbrush pretty colours on kitchen towel. Oh, airbrush, I have missed you. Do you know, it's really funny. I have actually not wanted to paint since my airbrush went, which is crazy because I've only properly been airbrushing for, what, 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how did I cope without an airbrush, before this was even an option? Desired Death, so now the real stream.
Now the real stream.
I would need to go and get changed. and figure out something to do. Like, legit.
So it's very likely, since you do recall exactly where the nozzle was, that we've backed it out a little bit too far.
Yeah.
It was probably just a half turn too far,
Yeah.
but the fact that you are getting proper airflow and you're
Yeah.
getting proper atomization of paint means that it's should be just fine
Yeah.
as it is.
Okay, so
Um,
now, as you could have just saw on stream, I'm getting all the bubbles coming out of between the cap and the
mhm,
actual airbrush. So just put a little bit of the lip balm strictly on the thread.
correct. Yes,
Right, okay.
strictly on the threads to go ahead, because that will function as a seal for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay. Do you guys really want me to do a proper stream?
Sounds like they do.
An airbrush heresy. Just dip it on high.
Just dip it.
Hey, Kai Border. Okay.
Yeah, so as Desire Does says, thread tape is still better than lip balm, and that's absolutely the truth.
Okay.
You probably only need one wrap. Actually, I can confidently say you only need one wrap of thread tape.
Okay.
And when you put this stuff on, you stretch it. You
Mm-hmm.
literally like sort of force it into the threads
Okay.
and tear it off. So you'll hold a wrap with your thumb or
Mm-hmm.
finger, start wrapping it around and stretch it and pull it so that it just gets one. It's also
Right.
really important when you apply it to make sure that you do it counterclockwise, so that when you
Okay.
tighten that thing on there, it tightens the stuff in. Otherwise, you're going to tear it off as you tighten something down.
Ah. If Yeah, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for, if someone has an Amazon UK link of this tape, I have next day delivery. It's going to be cheaper for me to get it from Amazon, despite a price difference, than travel to my nearest store to get it. You need to recreate your 3 a.m. stream. Okay, okay, guys, let me do this. Okay, I have no idea what the hell we would paint, but let me do this. Grab a drink, give me 15 minutes once I sign off from this, and then I will do a stream. Since we
So
have a
I'm
lot.
going to go ahead and tape. Crap. Said, yeah, this is Teflon tape. Bullshit. Teflon tape. I'm going to go ahead. This is the Amazon US, but just so
Okay.
you get an idea of what
Yep.
it looks like.
And
Okay.
then I know what I'm looking
Oh,
for elsewhere.
nope. Apparently, Desire Death has already got it for you.
Ooh, on the ball. Okay.
That's probably enough, Pixie.
Yep.
You really don't need to put a huge amount on.
I know. I'm kind of wiping some away. I now definitely don't want it going anywhere
Right. Well, and what you definitely don't want to do is make sure you want to make sure that you get none of it in that air chamber.
near.
Yeah. Girl Lily is actually trying to be the voice of reason here.
Yep. Girl Lily, the reason I am up in the first place is because I have a splitting headache and couldn't sleep with it. It was so
And
bad it woke me up.
and Easy Squeezy, thank you for joining Pixie's stream.
Oh wow.
Welcome to
Okay.
the flock.
This is what
I'm
happens when
actually
I
watching your stream.
Yeah, this is what happens when I don't have stream labels running. I don't see what's happening. But yeah, thank you so much for the follow. Not a real stream right now. I keep saying that. It's like, it's not a real stream. This isn't my normal production value. Okay, so I'm literally just testing by putting cleaner through because that's what was fuzzing through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. No more fuzzing.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's that. And then yeah, there you go. I think we got you pretty well back up and running.
Oh, TheBugKing, I actually love you. Like, legit actually love you.
Well, and so again, the understanding, I think, the base concept behind what it does
Yeah.
would help you, or would have helped you troubleshoot that on your own.
Yeah.
Which is, realizing that it's the interaction between the position of the nozzle,
Mm-hmm.
the position of the nozzle cap,
Yep.
and the needle Those 3 things are what's going to control your atomization of paint
Yep.
and also whether or not you get backflow. Because if
Mhm.
the nozzle's too far back, instead of the air pushing the paint past the needle out and atomizing, it
Mhm.
pushes the paint right back up into the cup,
Yep.
which is why you have that backflow.
Yeah.
And then if you have the nozzle too far forward, you get weird atomization. If you have it too far back, it doesn't work. If you have it
Yep.
too far back, you also get weird atomization. So there's a sweet spot
Ow.
in there that you're
Yeah.
going to want to try to find. So,
Yeah.
and that's going to vary airbrush to airbrush as well. So,
Well, listen, thank you very much. You have literally saved me from rage quitting airbrushing, which was legit going to happen. I am going to clip this together for YouTube and stuff because this is even the other stuff we tried might help other people troubleshoot things, and if they're getting similar spray patterns and stuff, even some of the stuff you've explained is going to be helpful to other people. I now have 100% more of a clue how my airbrush works. Like,
cool. Very good. Very, very good.
so yeah, thank you so much. You're a honey bunny. I'm going to need to give you some bonus wheel balls now. Um, bonus wheel balls. So yeah.